So how to do long runs for marathon training? Okay, one of the most important tactics that I can share with either whether you're a beginner or you're an elite level athlete, especially if you're more seasoned in the sport, you're going to know a little bit more about this, but definitely get out of this mindset of running long, slow, and easy every single weekend. Okay, all it's going to make you is a superior long, slow distance runner. Okay, if you want to run faster over the either the short anaerobic events like the mile 5K, or you want to run significantly faster over the longer aerobic events like the 10K, half marathon, marathon, then I would highly advise to start running different paces throughout your long run. Okay, spend some time running at your goal race pace, below your goal race pace, as well as jogging during your long run. So you can recover from these hard, intense sections of the long run where you're running at very fast paces. Okay, but I think that if you spend too much of your time just every single weekend, you're running easy and relaxed every single weekend, it's going to be hard to make drastic drops in your current personal best, okay, especially in these longer races. Obviously, if you're training for the mile or the 5K, you don't necessarily have to run very far for a long run, okay? Maybe 8 to 10 miles is sufficient, okay? But the key thing is to spend some time varying up the paces of your long runs and alternate it. Run very relaxed one weekend, very easy, get that, burn that fat, build the endurance, build your stamina, but then to really build on strength and working on increasing your stamina and really becoming very, very strong and endurance wise, start running the alternate week, the following week's long run at a faster pace. Now, granted, when you're not in great shape, that may be just running a few minutes during your long run at faster paces. Okay, it might be like little fartlek sessions where you're running maybe 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes jogging, then going back into 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes jogging, and repeating that a few times during your long run. But then as you get fitter, then you want to start working on, and this is what helped me go from dropping 21 minutes, going from a 2:43:36 PR in the marathon down to a 2:19:35 marathon. That's going from 6:14 mile pace down to 5:19 mile pace. So it's almost running a minute faster per mile for the entire duration of the marathon. Now, granted, it took me from I ran my first marathon in 2002 at the New York City Marathon, and I ran my PR at the 2007 California International Marathon. So it took me 5 years to go from 2:43 to 2:19. But I've coached athletes that have dropped over an hour off their marathon time using this tactic where they're running relaxed and easy one weekend, and then the following weekend they're running a portion of their long run. It might mean running every fourth mile of your long run at maybe 30 seconds faster than goal race pace. Extreme intense efforts for a certain segment of the run, then you're back off in relaxed pacing, dropping another fast mile right in the middle, or a very fast few kilometers in the middle of your long run. Okay, so I definitely think if you start doing this tactic, if you start using a very paced long run followed the next week by an easy relaxed long run, you are going to start making some significant drops in your particular road racing efforts. Even if you're running training for a track event, maybe an 800 or a 5K or a 10,000 on the track, if you start doing these long runs every other weekend at faster paces and you start mixing up, it could be a steady state run where you're just running maybe doing like a 2 mile warm up, or maybe 3.2 kilometers easy relaxed warm up, then running maybe 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers at 10 seconds slower than race pace, and then just having a nice steady effort at a very hard but not so anaerobic effort that you're redlining and that you're being forced to slow down, but you're running with at a high enough lactic acid buildup that you're building that adaptation, you're building your stamina, and you're running a certain portion of that run at just slower than goal race pace. And then following the next week, very easy, relaxed. Maybe the following weekend you run a few miles or a few kilometers, maybe running every 3 miles or every 4 or every 5 kilometers at 10 seconds faster than goal race pace. Okay, and then after that 5 kilometer section, you back off and run very easy for 5 kilometers. Then you run another 5 kilometers at maybe 15 seconds faster than goal race pace. Okay, and then you settle back into a nice, easy, relaxed jog, and then repeat. But that's the type of mindset that I think that athletes, if you really want to start dropping significant time, you're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone. Okay, and these types of workouts, without a doubt, the long run was the most difficult workout that I did in my career. Now I still jog and run for fitness, but I don't do those 120, 130 mile weeks like I used to, or do the really hard workouts. But I still remember every little workout I did, how I did it. And that's why I like sharing my tactics and strategies with the other athletes here that watch these videos. And I've seen some significant drops. Feel free to check out the testimonial page on RunDreamAchieve.com. And it's really interesting to see how changing up your tactics in doing your long runs and how you set up your training can really significantly make a difference in your performances and obviously your confidence. Okay, do the very best you can to run on soft surfaces during your long runs, maybe either on dirt roads or on grass if you can. Most cases that's not the case, because at least if you're here in the States or even in Europe, it's not. There's much more pavement, much more concrete. But do the very best you can to run on the soft surfaces if you can, just to minimize the amount of impact your legs and knees have to deal with. I would focus on finding flat courses to do your long runs. And where on the faster, very pace long runs, where you're racing flats. Get accustomed to running at faster paces during those long runs. It's going to help you psychologically to be hitting those splits and to be wearing your racing shoes. But also the following week, when you do that easy, relaxed long run, make sure you're wearing training shoes on that. Okay, that's how I did it. I would wear my racing flats during my long runs, during those very hard efforts, very pace long runs. And then the following week, I would always wear trainers. So again, this is not something you want to just jump into. Okay, so if you're just starting your build-up, first, build that strong aerobic base, minimum of 3 to 4 weeks of easy, relaxed mileage where you're running and doing strides 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, 4 to 5 100-meter strides, 2 to 3 times a week during your aerobic buildup, and then continue to do those strides throughout your training cycle, even as you go into your taper phase. Okay, because over a long period of time, over a 4 to 6 month period of time, you will have spent many miles, many kilometers at sprint paces, all out sprint paces, on top of all the other workouts you're doing. So that's going to help you build those fast twitch muscle fibers that you need to really get faster over the shorter races all the way up to the longer races. But that's how I would do, in terms of how to do long runs for marathon training. That's the type of setup that I would do leading into my main marathon event. Okay, I would get beyond, if you've done your track sessions, you've been doing hill workouts, you've been doing road workouts, but you've been running easy and relaxed every single weekend for your long runs. If you're having problems running and sustaining goal race pace in your marathons or in your half marathons, these longer events, start implementing this tactic. Varied pace long runs, faster efforts sprinkled throughout your long run every other week. Okay, not every single weekend, because you're not going to be able to do that. You would be able to, but there is a point of diminished returns where it's going to be very hard for you to continue to run and continue your body to continue to adapt to these harder, faster efforts over these several months. So make sure that you're paying attention to your recovery. Okay, hope this is helpful. Feel free to leave me a comment below, like and share these videos. I really appreciate that. And definitely, if you're looking for personal coaching, you're looking for a running course or a training plan, check out the links below these videos, as well as on RunDreamAchieve.com. They're definitely there to help get you to the next level. So I wish you guys and gals all the very best, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.